The cockatoo had 5 months with the baby before it spoke. When it finally did, it was 3 a.m. and it said the one word that mattered. Percy was a 12-year-old sulphur-crested cockatoo with a vocabulary of 31 words that he deployed according to his own editorial judgment. He was loud, opinionated, and had never shown any particular inclination toward restraint in the use of his voice. When 5-month-old baby Rowan came home, Percy went quiet. Not silent, he still spoke, still performed, still greeted the household in the mornings with his usual enthusiasm. But he stopped vocalizing at night. The family had worried about this. A cockatoo who goes quiet is sometimes a cockatoo who is unhappy. They watched him for signs of stress. He showed none. He simply did not speak after the household quieted for the night. For 5 months. On a Thursday at 3:17 a.m., Percy said, "Mama," once. Clearly. Then silence. Rowan's mother, Ines heard it through the baby monitor, which was on the same frequency as the living room where Percy lived. She heard it and was confused. Percy was covered. Covered cockatoos did not speak. She got up anyway. She went to the nursery first. Rowan was in the crib, white onesie, eyes open. His breathing had the quality she had learned to read in 5 months of new parent attention. It wasn't right. A slight labouring. A pulling in at the ribs that she had read about and been told to watch for and had never seen before this moment. She called 911. Rowan had RSV bronchiolitis, the respiratory infection that in infants under 6 months can progress rapidly. His oxygen saturation at paramedic arrival was 93%. He was hospitalized for 3 days and recovered fully. Subscribe now before the next detail, because what the pediatric respiratory specialist said about infant RSV breathing sound in the 40100 Hz range, and what a cockatoo's hearing means for detection at that frequency across a house at 3 a.m., is the documentation that Ines has saved. Dr. Mensah said, RSV bronchiolitis in infants produces a characteristic change in breathing sound, increased effort, altered frequency, the specific acoustic signature of a partially obstructed airway. In the 400-100 Hz fundamental range, this change is detectable to species with sensitive low-frequency hearing. He said, large parrots have documented sensitivity in exactly this range, calibrated for long-distance contact calls in their native environment. At 3 a.m., in a quiet house with no competing sound, a bird in the living room would detect a respiratory sound change in an infant's room before the sound became audible to a sleeping adult. He said, Percy said "mama" because that was the word most reliably associated with a response. He had 5 months of data on what word produced action from the adult who could help. He said it once because once was enough. Has a bird or pet ever made a specific sound at a critical moment? A sound they chose, not a random vocalization. Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Rowan recovered. He is 6 months old and developing well. Percy still speaks 31 words on his own editorial schedule. He has not said "mama" at night again since that Thursday. He said it once. Ines got up. That was the whole exchange. Ines thinks about 5 months of night silence. She thinks about a cockatoo who went quiet for 5 months and saved the one word for when it was needed. She thinks about the 400-010 Hz range and 31 words and one Thursday at 3:17 a.m. She thinks. He knew which word she would respond to. He waited until the information was worth the word. That is either a coincidence or it is something she doesn't have a name for. Either way, she got up. Next, the husky who started walking on the toddler's right side only, and what changed when the family finally looked at which ear the child favored.